Feel like it's kind of like the same day over and over. I mean, you change hats, you do different roles, but it's like, hey, but it's like you're doing the same thing over and over. Yeah, I kind of feel like that right now. You know, the thing about YouTube is I thought that like there would eventually be a cap where I just run out of ideas and there's just nothing to talk about anymore. But the more I'm making YouTube videos, the more I'm realizing there's actually like an infinite amount of things that we could talk about. The problem is we only have about 5 minutes, which I think is a respectable amount of time for you to donate to me and for me to be able to generate and pack all the content into that's actually enjoyable and meaningful for you. So the problem is we don't have a whole lot of time. Plus, you have a life and I have a life and we're all doing different things. So out of respect to that, I think today I want to talk to you about something that is a little, well, it's like a double-edged sword, and while I grow aspirations from it, well, let me just explain. So the thing that I was going to talk about is, well, it's about comparing yourself to somebody else. You know, so many YouTube guys are out there crushing the game, doing really well, which is awesome, and I respect them and I think that it's an awesome thing, but I think that it's almost the exact same thing is like an Instagram person just taking a casual photo in, you know, some tropical place and then posting it on YouTube, because at the end of the day, what we're showing is only a very, very small percentage of all of the bullshit that is a part of the process of making that stupid photo or video. And to elaborate, I think a lot of these creators, you know, we'll talk about PewDiePie, Logan Paul, Mr. Beast, Casey Neistat, all these guys, they have a lot of people involved in making these YouTube videos. And so personally for me, whenever I'm making my YouTube videos, I use that as a reference, but it's a terrible, terrible, terrible reference. Like nobody should be using that as a reference, because they have a team, they have production, they have managers, they have people that are all involved with making or creating whatever they do. And I understand Casey Neistat, who I do draw a lot of aspiration or inspiration from. He does a lot of this stuff himself, and I get that. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that are involved with other aspects of making their life easier to create. For example, you know, Logan Paul having his videographer, and PewDiePie having his editor, everyone else, and I'm just a one-man show. And so to think that I could be as good or better than, you know, the next Peter McKinnon is kind of ridiculous to think, because he has already built up this groundwork, which I think is a big 2016, 2017, and early 2018 period where everyone was able to create something, and if you just made something that was unique, you would get a lot of views, which is not the case anymore. I don't think it's wrong, I don't think it's a problem, but what I do want to say is that my vlogs, although I have inspiration and stuff from other individuals, are going to be a little bit different and never going to be to the level of quality that I would like in that 5 minutes of that time. I think it's so cool having like these drapes where you can just kind of like create a softbox from any direction, you know, when the light's coming in too hard. I really dig that. So what I'm saying is, if you want to talk about unrealistic expectations or misperception of lifestyles, take a look no further than the most successful YouTubers. But I have to remind myself that I'm not your average YouTuber. You see, when I peel back the layers of these, what I consider famous YouTubers, all I see at best is the idea and ability to create out of thin air an interesting or funny situation. You see these guys like David Dobrik, Logan Paul, PewDiePie even. I think that a lot of these guys, which we consider very famous and successful, they actually mostly all dropped out of college or never even went, which is something that I have done. I've actually gone to college. I did it later on in life, but you know, you would never know that, and I don't think it really matters. But I've done things that they've not done, and you've done things that they've not done, but yet we compare ourselves as if we've both gone down the same path. Not you and I, but them. And we haven't. We've had completely different paths. But we do have something very, very much in common. And that is that we are all ambitious. I literally have the most thought-provoking ideas at nighttime, and I don't know why, but if I had to guess, it would be something to the effect that like the majority of our days are kind of designed around this programming for, like, example, education or work, or, you know, even the gym. I typically would go to the gym during the day, not at nighttime. Yeah, so I don't know why, but I get in a better flow state of ideas at nighttime. If you feel the same way, drop in the comments below. I also just realized that I am out of coffee, so let's go get some coffee. Almost forgot my sweater. I weighed 200 pounds, which is enormous for me. See, all the way through my 20s, I weighed about 135 pounds until I was introduced to alcohol. And then I gained a little bit of unhealthy weight. But it wasn't until I went to Afghanistan in 2012, whenever I started taking the gym serious and actually working out. So I left Afghanistan in 2014, and during the 2012 to 2014, I was able to get up to about 150 pounds, but it wasn't until I got to the United States in 2014 I was able to work up to 170 pounds. And then, after 3 years of working out in the States, I went back to Afghanistan in 2017, and that's whenever I was able to finally get up to 200 pounds. And unfortunately, I can't work out the way that I want to presently, but who cares about any of that stuff anyways? So I just got back from the gym. I just wanted to mention something that I was thinking about. Some of you guys might be thinking like, oh, well, why didn't you continue skateboarding if you were so good at it? Well, the reason why, I don't know if you guys know this guy named Ryan Sheckler, but there's a direct correlation between risk and reward. And there's a direct correlation between the two in skateboarding. So the higher the risk, the higher reward, meaning you'd have to do something really crazy to get someone's attention. And that only became harder as these new young professionals started getting really good at a very young age. Ryan Sheckler was one of them. And I remember specifically there was this one point in time where I was like, oh, you know, I could probably still make it. And then I saw this kid, I think he was 12 or 13, kickflipping a 13 stair. 12 or 13, he might have been 14, kickflipping a 14 stair. It was something that I was like, wow, there's no way that I'm ever going to be able to compete with a guy like this at my level. If I were to continue down that path of trying to top or one-up one of the individuals who's done something so great, the likelihood of injury was going to drastically increase with that, which I had never broken a bone in my body at the time and was completely terrifying. So I'd seen so many horror stories of other individuals just like ruining their bodies and never being able to skate again. And I thought to myself, you know what? There's gonna have to be a time whenever I cut this hobby, you know, free, because as much as I'd love to pursue that passion and dream, the end result, the idea of having a debilitating injury was terrifying. So. Before all of this stuff, I was actually a part owner of a bar, so I think technically that makes me an entrepreneur as well. But aside from that, whenever I was younger, I was in theater arts and I was actually pretty good. I mean, I wasn't like the best person at acting, but I still got some lead roles. And then aside from that, I did a lot of art drawing, like actual drawing and like real art. And I mean, I say real art, I mean, I'm sure all this stuff is considered art, but what I'm talking about is actually drawing, painting, you know, things like that. See this little, I'm gonna have a race with this thing. I'm at the dentist actually. I'm about to get a root canal, so wish me luck. Just got the root canal, everything went as planned. A little bit of pain from the anesthesia, but everything is all good. I just can't feel half my face. Now it's time to go home. I used to skateboard for about 12 years, and that was a long time ago, and I got pretty good at that, but that's kind of changed just because I've gotten a lot heavier than what I used to be. As I'm going through kind of unpacking all these things that you didn't know about me, I wanted to make it clear that the only reason why I'm telling you is because I felt like I kept it a secret for no other reason other than to separate my identity from YouTube. So moving forward, I'm actually really into technology, like really into technology. I actually have a bachelor's degree in cybersecurity and countless IT certifications, and that's kind of like my jam and the way that I make a living. So there's that. And also, I don't know if you know this, but I made a program. Actually, I literally wanted a way of turning on a light in the morning while I was in Afghanistan, so I didn't actually have to get up. It was basically a Google sunrise. I wanted an alarm clock that like turned on a light at a certain time of day, and I didn't have a Philips Hue light or anything like that, so I literally wrote a program to hack into this light that like worked off of Wi-Fi and make it brighter every few seconds. And then I wrote a GUI for that program, and then I uploaded that to YouTube. So you can actually find that as one of my YouTube uploads. It's crazy, right? Yeah, well anyways, there's that. To put it all together, I just wanted to say that I'm not your average YouTuber. I mean, I've done a lot of other things, and every time I pick up this camera and make a video for you guys, I'm basically taking a step into the unknown. It's me setting aside all of my insecurities and just making a video and pure entertainment for you guys. Oh, and also to be a better filmmaker. You know, that's obviously a big part of it. So I encourage everyone out there who's kind of doubting themselves in this year, in this time frame, in this moment of space, to give yourself a pat on the back. Think about all the things that you have done. Think about all the things that you're good at, and just remind yourself that you are something that's special and that you can do something great. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of negativity out there. There's a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of reasons to not believe that you are something. But just look at what you've done. Look at what you accomplished. And if you haven't done anything, just set something out. Set a goal. Write it down. Let's figure it out. Okay, this has been a self-validating public service announcement. Alright guys, as I wrap this one up, I just want to say, try your best not to compare yourself to anybody else. Be the best you. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you're not already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you guys. Peace. As I wrap this vlog up, I just wanted to say thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for... It's not... What are they doing? That doesn't do anything.